So I think one more important point which you just covered some time back is about, every country looking at the Data Protection Act in different way. So with this in mind, how do you feel that this cultural or economic and geopolitical differences, does this impact the way countries look at these acts like you just mentioned about?
Isha, I think certainly yes. I'll give you a personal example. Do you think in our own homes, like we give value to privacy? कोई किसी के भी रूम में ऐसे ही चला जाता है, right? We do not have a privacy as a culture in the country for that matter. Maybe because of the Indian setup, but compared to the Western jurisdictions where kids have their own room to sleep, I think only after 1 year of an age. But in India, we can start with the very basic things. How do we as a country understand privacy? For every other single instance, even when Aadhaar was not mandatory, identity document, if somebody would ask me, anybody would reproduce what? An Aadhaar card, right? So I think from that sense, privacy as a culture, I think never existed in our country, right from our families kind of a setup. I would really appreciate if you have some any other arguments to this. But compared to the Western countries, I think we are not in that sense. So we follow the principle of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, and that's I see totally translating into our digital transformation and digitization journey as well. At that time when Jam Trinity was coming into picture, I don't see that we have taken opta specific consent. We just wanted financial inclusion, and maybe then we started opening bank accounts through mobile vans, right? So in that sense, and that's how now we see that banks are facing challenges how to go about retrospective consent requirement in the law. So I think it does certainly have certain kind of effect. China as a country which has a very regulated kind of a sector, they would have thought of it more precisely than us. So I think cultural differences, geopoliticals do certainly have a role to play. And another, I think, evident example of this, which I can see is the way our digital DBDPA itself has seen various kind of journeys, right? So if you remember, at DSCI, we know because we were the part of the committee that drafted the actual law, Shri Krishna committee, and wherein we gave a dissent opinion. So our former CEO was part of that committee. She said that how restricted data transfers would have a problem in a country like India, where innovation is also something which is warranted. So we see a very prescriptive version coming in, industry having challenges to comply with a prescriptive law like GDPR. But then we had a different version which had non-personal data elements also into picture. Then we had a different other version with some 89 amendments suggested by the Joint Parliamentary Committee and whatnot. And then what we see at the end of everything in November 22 was a very crisp principle-based version of the law, wherein we talked about certain privacy principles embedded in the letters of the law, but not in that stricter sense which we see in GDPR or a CCPA. But we did have we have something, and I think that's the beauty of Indian DPDPA, that it is now able to cater to most of the stratas of the society, the elitist one who value their privacy like anything, and the unawares one, जहाँ पे literacy ही नहीं है, they are also now given that transparency and accessibility ki notice you have to give them in 22 languages, right? I think the only intent is to cater to that privacy unaware community ki जिनको पता ही नहीं कि what is the value of their data, right? So I think in that sense, it is certainly culture, society, and geopolitics have certainly a role to play. So to cut the answer short, that's the answer that I would like to give you.